Pokemon. It was in an ancient text I once read.
So, you've heard of it?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it could be the mythical Pokemon. Meltan!
Meltan?
Found it. This is the text. The description.
Okay. Where do we begin? That is the real question. Where do we begin? So a lot of rumors have been floating around as of late about said Pokemon on your screen. Obviously we didn't watch the entire trailer just now. But number one, I'm sure you get the hint of what's going on. There's a new Pokemon that has been confirmed. And number two, the trailer is in fact linked in the description below. You can go and check it out and watch it in its entirety. But I'm really not sure where to begin with this or how I feel about it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. So basically, a lot of rumors have been going around about this image of this Pokemon, this blob, this silver blob with a nut as a head with an eye in the middle of it. And at first, since it was released in Go, it was one of those things where a lot of people thought it was an error because it's so unbelievable that this could actually be a new Pokemon. I just want that to sink in for a second. It was automatically assumed to be a placeholder because it is so unbelievable. It was collectively unbelievable that this could be a new Pokemon. Now, I was actually planning on making a speculation video about this because since it's been released in Go, it's been in Go for what, like a week now? You know, I can understand them slipping up and putting something incorrect in the game, but generally in the past, whenever Niantic does something like that, it's generally fixed within like the first 12 hours or so. This has been in the game for a week, so I think after the first day or two, maybe 3 at most, you can pretty much come to the conclusion that it's not a mistake. This was leaked, quote unquote, intentionally. But I think it's very smart that they leaked it and immediately drew comparisons to Ditto, because in the past, a lot of things that Pokemon have done have been heavily criticized as being lazy designs or whatever. So I think it's very smart of them to get ahead of this and immediately compare it to Ditto and say that, oh, Ditto is replicating this Pokemon. Now, on top of that, a lot more questions come to mind. Oak says this is a mythical Pokemon. It's obviously a very old and ancient Pokemon as well. Seeing as he's got this ancient text on the screen regarding it. But seeing as it's a mythical Pokemon, does this really sit up there and stand next to Jirachi and Victini and Darkrai and Arceus? You know, is this worthy of being called a mythical Pokemon? If so, what kind of stats is this Pokemon going to have? How is this Pokemon going to perform? Next thing that comes to mind is, you know, they've never had a legendary Pokemon evolve before, but then Generation 7 came through and completely messed that all up. Now, spoilers, said legendary Pokemon is also an Ultra Beast, so then you draw that comparison to where, you know, this can't possibly be it for Meltan. This can't just be a Pokemon that doesn't evolve. It has to clearly evolve into something cooler and more badass and more worthy of being called a mythical Pokemon. And with the way that Pokemon has been going over the past few years, they've been really making an effort to separate mythical and legendary Pokemon. They are not one and the same. Now, for my entire lifetime, you know, Arceus was just a legendary Pokemon. Darkrai was just a legendary Pokemon. All these Pixies were just legendary Pokemon. But now, apparently, they're been classified as mythical. So will this be our first I can't even say it. I sound like fucking Mike Tyson. Will this be our first mythical Pokemon that can evolve? Because again, remember, it was so collectively unbelievable that this thing even existed. So I don't think it's very unfair to say that I think that this will evolve. I'm just not convinced that this is it. This is it for Meltan. Now, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Let's rewind and refocus on but we do know. And that this is a silver blob with a red tail and a nut for a head. Apparently its shiny form was also released. I don't have an image of that off the top of my head, or on hand I should say. I wasn't thinking about mentioning it, but its shiny was released, which again, like, even then, more people should have realized that it was confirmed. I'm really torn on it because I'm just not a fan of its, like, specifically design. And I know a lot of people are gonna come out here and white knight this thing and say, oh, it's cute, it's adorable. That's fine, whatever. I'm not referencing how cute or adorable it is. You know, I could draw a circle or a square, and if I round the edges and make it cute enough, you'd say it's cute. That doesn't change the fact that it's an uninspiring design. You know, with all of the design creative options that are available in the world today, I just really don't think that 8 generations in, 900 Pokemon into the Pokédex, I really don't think it's quote-unquote acceptable to put out a blob. I don't think that's very unreasonable. I just don't think it's cool to put out Pokemon anymore that resemble other Pokemon, or at least as closely as this does to Ditto. So I just, like, I'm not hating it. You know, I always say, like, you can't, why be mad over things you can't change? It's just, I'm not a raving fan of this Pokemon right now because it's literally just a nut with Ditto's body. Now, to clear the air and get some better vibes in here, because like I said, I'm 50-50 on it. What I am happy about with Meltan is we have a new Pokemon confirmed. I will say that. And as a Pokemon fan, I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with me. The number one thing that I like about Pokemon is the vast amount, the vast quantity, the vast individualism of every single Pokemon out there. To me, that is the number one thing. That's the one thing that's made Pokemon grow for all these years. It's not the turn-based battle system. It's not the lore in the region. It's not the A badge system. No, it's the fact that you should go out there and catch them all. There's 151 or more to see. To be a Pokemon master is my destiny. So whenever it comes to a new Pokemon game, the one thing that I look forward to the most are new Pokemon. If you remember when Sun and Moon was first announced, and I remember there was one night when they leaked like 12 Mons at once, or leaked or was released, whatever. And I remember I made a video on almost every single one of them because that's purely, truly, genuinely what gets me excited about new Pokemon games is the addition of new Pokemon. Like, new region, that's dope. New trainers, that's dope. New important characters, that's dope. But when it comes to new Pokemon games, what I want are new Mons. Fill out this fucking dex. So, the fact that we have a new Pokemon, that's cool. I do like that. Regardless of whether or not I'm in love with this design, I do like the fact that we got a new Pokemon, especially for Let's Go, because Let's Go, dog. Did you guys know there's another trailer out? They did a trailer with Erica in it. Where did they post this shit? Where do they post this shit? I mean, I follow the official Pokemon channel. I didn't even see it. I didn't even fucking see it. I'm gonna have to react to that one later. I didn't even know. Are they gonna release a trailer for every fucking gym leader until? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They're not spoiling anything. We know it's gonna be in the game, but especially for Let's Go, considering how bland the game is going to be, seeing as it's not anything new. I guess it's kind of cool they gave us a new Pokemon. It's kind of weird and throws me off a little bit that they would introduce a new Pokemon in a side game. I think that's really interesting as well. But with its introduction, it draws into question. Well, first things first. Meltan itself has not been discovered. Now, we do have images leaked from the game of the trainer with Meltan. Well, I keep saying leaked. It's been released. It's on the Pokemon Twitter. Of Meltan in game with the trainer. We even have Meltan in battle. But my question is is this actually Meltan? Or is this a Ditto? Because in the trailer, all Oak says, well, first of all, this nigga Oak has been holding out on us this whole time because he said he recognized it. He knew what it was. Put it in your fucking decks, dog. That's the whole point. You know, it's official. You know, it's confirmed. It has existed. Put it in your fucking decks. My nigga, the motherfucking Pokedex has Dialga and Arceus and Giratina. Nobody's seen them niggas in years. That's all ancient lore and text and shit. Put this nigga in your fucking decks. Oak has been holding out on us for years. But my question is, in Let's Go, or in Pokemon Go so far, Meltan have all been Ditto. So, this Meltan that's in-game in the screenshot, is it an official Meltan? Or is it another Ditto? Because so far, we haven't actually seen a Meltan. All the Meltan you catch and Go just become Dittos. So that implies that Ditto has somehow seen a Meltan, but we don't actually have a Meltan. We just have Dittos that imitate Meltan. That's what we have. So I don't know. It's just a lot to think about. I'm trying to order my thoughts as I go. It's a lot to think about. How Meltan's existence basically makes Professor Willow canon. He's not just a side game guy anymore. You know, he discovered Meltan. Well, he hasn't discovered Meltan yet. Oak, technically, I guess, I don't know. That's kind of back and forth. That's actually something that you guys might need to clarify with speculation or something. You know, technically, Oak knows about it. So did Oak discover Meltan? Which would essentially render Willow still as a side professor and not official, like Professor Crane from Gale of Darkness. You know, it takes place in a different continuity. It's not a part of the main timeline. It's not official. But then that begs the question of, will Meltan be included in Generation 8? You know, is he an actual new number in the decks? Or is Meltan just something that's going to be utilized to help gain hype and promote Let's Go? You know, is it only official and only canon in Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go? If that's the case, then we have an entirely new continuity in the Pokemon universe. And the one thing that I thought was just the most far-fetched thing of them all was they're starting a third timeline. Because now we have this universe where Meltan exists. And it's not in the remake timeline. It's not in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon timeline. It's not in, well, not Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but it's not in the Pokemon Sun and Moon timeline, because apparently, well, that's a whole nother conversation again. Is the Ultra Sun and Moon timeline what's official now? Is that what's canon? Or is it the Pokemon Sun and Moon timeline? Is that what's canon? But it's not in the original timeline. It's not in the Alola Split, either one of those timelines, I should say. It's not in the remake timeline where Mega Evolution exists. So Meltan would have to become canon and official and be included in Generation 8. So there's a lot of questions, a lot of speculation. I will say Pokemon did a great job revealing it. I will say they did that. They did a great job revealing it, acting like it was a leak. It wasn't supposed to be in the game. You know, don't talk about it. Oh my God, what are we supposed to do? And again, this draws connections between Pokemon Go and Let's Go, which is the entire point of the fucking game. But a new mythical Pokemon? Like the only way I can see themselves legitimizing that is by either making it evolve or making it an Ultra Beast. And I mean, we don't have a lot of Ultra Beasts, so they can continue to add on to Ultra Beasts, and it would be our first mythical to evolve. I don't know. Pretty much all we've gotten from this video and from this information today is that it's official. It's no longer speculation. I'm sure we'll get more information as the games go, but no matter what, this nigga is in the game. Wholeheartedly, he is in the game. It is official. It's not a placeholder any longer. It is in the game. It is a new Pokemon confirmed. And no matter how I feel about it, no matter what, I still like the fact that we're getting new Pokemon. I'm still honestly I mean, as someone that's been a fan of Pokemon for 20 years, there's been a lot of times when, you know, you have to step back and defend Pokemon. Not that I'm saying that it matters. I'm just talking about situations in general. You know, there's a lot of times you have to step back and defend Pokemon and say, you know what, yes, that bag of trash is a Pokemon, and here's why. Or, yes, you know, that Pokeball has become a Pokemon, and here's why. Or, yes, that is an ice cream cone. Or even then, when 5th Gen came out, a lot of people were saying that, oh, 5th Gen is uninspiring. The Pokédex is uninspiring. That's the biggest complaint that they get about the Pokédex, that it's uninspiring. You know, look at the Conkeldurr line. That's basically Machamp. Look at the Gigalith line. That's basically Golem. Whatever. Sure. Fine. But this is that one time around where I'm just not even going to try, dog. It's a blob with a nut for a head. Cook it how you want. Cook it how you want, dog. Like I said, it shouldn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I'm just talking about the example, just in general. That situation, you know. Okay, do what you must with it. It's a blob with a nut for a head. It's the Hex Nut Pokemon. I mean, then that begs to that begs the whole conversation of, you know, what exactly is this Pokemon's lore? Obviously, it's a very, very old Pokemon. It's got ancient text surrounding it. If it is exclusive to the Let's Go universe, or the Go universe, I should say, that's what it should be called, the Go universe. What exists in Pokemon Go and Let's Go? If it does exist solely in there, then I could see them using this as like a way to explain the machinations of the Go world. You know, what makes the link between Pokemon Go and Let's Go, or what makes things go around there. You know, was it a part of some sort of ancient machinery? Did it serve some sort of purpose then, and now it's been rediscovered again because yada yada yada, we need to do it for this and that and X and Y and whatever. All I know is we have the origins of Pokemon again, and it is not the same as our traditional origins of Pokemon because of this little Pokemon right here. So, I've been awake for about 2 hours now. I haven't seen any other additional information regarding this Pokemon except for this. So I don't know if I've missed out on anything else. Let me know what you guys think about Meltan and all of this new information we've been given. And let me know if I missed out on anything as well. Like I said, link to the trailer is included in the description below. You can go and check it out there. Form your own opinion. You guys always know I encourage you to discuss and hypothesize, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll be peeping it, reading it, checking it out. This new, well, I guess it's not new, Let's Go trailer with Erica in it. I'm going to go and peep, and we'll have a reaction to that in the next day or so. But, like I said, let me know what you think about Meltan, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, I'm out this bitch. Bye!